Hello everyone, it's Brian for GadgetUnit.com, and in this video I'll be showing you my complete Galaxy S7 setup. So it's been about 5 months since I've last did a video like this. I think that video was for my Galaxy Note 7 before the whole recall stuff happened. I like doing these videos because they serve as sort of a personal history of what my phone looked like, so that should something happen to my S7 to where I have to restart the software setup, then I could just watch the video to see how things were. For the case, I'm using a spec candy shell grip because, as the name suggests, it provides a ton of grip, which for a pretty expensive phone is something I want to have. The screen protector was by UTech. It's a basic front film. It didn't require any liquid to install, it just installs itself onto the front of the phone like a typical screen protector would. There's a very minor amount of bubbling around the edges, but it's not really that visible thanks to the lay on the table design of the candy shell grip. And that's basically my accessory setup. I've been using the same screen protector for a number of months, and while there are scratches on it, it's really not that bad. So I've done nothing in the way of the lock screen, so if we just go ahead and unlock, here is my home screen. By the way, this is running Android Nougat. I first started using the Nougat betas from beta 3. I then used betas 4 and 5, and then the final official release was pushed out by T-Mobile a couple of weeks ago, so I installed that, and for the most part, everything has been fine. I'm really happy with Nougat overall. I was really happy with Marshmallow, but Nougat looks a little bit better in the stock apps here and there. In the upper left, I do have my weather widget, which updates once every 6 hours, and it is based on a set city, not the location of the device, because that typically uses more battery. So I have 3 rows. Of course, the bottom row is the dock, and then I do have a folder row at the top. So this is my stock folder, which has calculator, clock, Google Maps, the Play Store app, Samsung Notes, settings, the My T-Mobile app, as well as the T-Mobile Visual Voicemail app. This is my social folder, so I have Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, which I use rarely, OkCupid, Periscope, Skype, Steam, Swarm, Tweetcaster, and Twitter. So I use the official Twitter app for quickly replying to tweets based on the notifications that I get. It doesn't natively support the Nougat notification reply system. Hopefully it will eventually, but for just browsing, I use Tweetcaster. And then here we have my large others folder, which has the 99.5 Kiss mobile app, GetTube, which is how I download videos onto my phone. I have the Golf Shot app, the Runtastic mountain bike app, NHL Mobile, which I like to use for listening to games that I don't have on TV, the Plex mobile app, Shazam, Sling Player. I keep forgetting the name of this app. This is called Solid Explorer. This is what I use for browsing the file system on my device and making sure everything is nice and clean. Because this is Android, you have control over things like that, which is absolutely fantastic. And on that note, when I was looking for screen recorders, I was just amazed by how many there were in the Google Play Store. There were a number of options to take a look at. I ended up settling with AZ Screen Recorder, which records very well. It does record 60 frames per second video, but it's not quite stutter free, so I pulled it back to 30 frames per second. Next, I have the Speed Test app, the T-Mobile Tuesday app, TeamViewer, TV Guide Mobile, Spectrum TV, VLC, a very simple voice recorder app. This is totally free and I like it a lot. Lots of options to choose from. I'll give that a rating later. So it's just a really nice basic audio recorder. After that, we have the Withings Activity app, and we also have the YouTube mobile app. Just got a Twitter notification, so I'll swipe that away. Now, since I'm here in my notification area, I'll just give you a tour of how I have the quick actions laid out. So first is Wi-Fi, which I could probably move it outside of these 6 because I just don't use Wi-Fi ever. I really don't need to use it because I have unlimited data and I get service everywhere with T-Mobile, so I don't really need to use that. Next is Do Not Disturb, which I use every night. I also have the volume adjustment preset toggle, the blue light filter, which is nice, the flashlight quick toggle, as well as a battery saver toggle, which I really don't use very often. I'm typically near an outlet at all times to where I don't really need anything like that. If I pull it down to reveal the rest, you can see the rest that I have. So we have the Bluetooth icon, which is on all the time. Wi-Fi calling, which unless I'm on Wi-Fi and I don't have service, which is rarely ever, this is what that is for. The performance mode toggle, mobile hotspot, airplane mode, always on display, which a lot of people like, but I don't use it because I don't want to really be reminded on my phone that has notifications all the time anyway. Private mode, not entirely sure what that is. I haven't really seen any of these. I think some of these are new with Nougat. There's also a phone visibility toggle, smart view, NFC, location, sync, and auto rotate. The last three are always on. NFC I don't turn on ever because I use Samsung Pay, and that automatically uses MST and NFC when necessary without having to actually have me toggle NFC on or off. So below the three folders, I have my SMS, which is the preferred texting app that I use because it works really well when I want to send and receive messages from any other internet-enabled device, such as my computer, another phone, and whatnot. Next is the Samsung Calendar app, the Samsung Gallery app, and the Samsung Camera app. In the dock, I have the Dialer by Samsung, the Samsung Internet Browser, which I do use over Chrome because it does support extensions. I use AdGuard as the ad blocker, and it works extremely well. The browser itself is really lightweight, it's fast, and it works really well. There's also the Samsung Email app as well as Spotify in the bottom right. And in the app drawer, you can see every app that I have installed on my device. Some of these are only temporary, such as the screen recorder, but everything else is pretty much going to be here forever. Some of these icons I don't have placed in folders because they're just utilities that I don't really need to open on a regular basis. So some of those include the AdGuard app, the Contacts app, the Samsung Galaxy app. There's a Google app, which I can't remember the last time I opened, which is also why it's not in a folder. There is the Min app, which is the icon set that I'm using. So this is the app that handles setting the icons and wallpapers and other items. By the way, I am using Nova Launcher for the launcher here. If you were wondering, it is I think it's called Nova Launcher Prime. It's the $5 add-on I think you can get, which gives you some extra features. There's the T-Mobile Hotspot app, which I don't really use my hotspot too much, so I don't need to have an app in one of the home screen folders. There's the My D-Link app for checking security cameras. This is the settings app for Nova Launcher. We have Package Disabler Pro, which I have disabled a bunch of stock packages that I don't really want to use, such as Android Pay and the Amazon app and some of these other packages that I just don't really think need to be enabled or activated. Another app that I don't need on my home screen would be, I think this is the S-Voice app. Yeah, I don't use S-Voice on this phone. I think I did when I first got the phone to try it out, but I really don't talk to my phone to have it do things. I'll just do it myself. There's a Samsung Pay app, which I don't really need to get into because I can launch my credit card from my lock screen, so there's not a whole lot of reason to go into the app. It does give you transaction history, which is nice. Let's see, there's also the iCloud Contacts Sync app, which is right here. And I do still have my contacts being housed with my iCloud account because I use my Outlook.com account for email and calendar, but I don't use it for contacts because Microsoft, for whatever reason, I just have no idea why they do it like this, but you cannot add photos to your contacts, which is kind of mind-blowing because every other service does. So for now, I have my handful of contacts still living in my iCloud account, which is the last thing I have that's Apple related. So I don't really have another alternative for that. Let's see some of the other apps. Here we have the Nova Launcher Prime app, which activates the add-on that you can buy. And there's another microphone icon. I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, that's for the Google Assistant thing, or whatever it's called when you're not on a Pixel or the new G6. I'm not sure what the basic assistant is called. I don't use that either. But that's it in terms of the few apps that I have in the app drawer that I don't have here on my home screen in a folder. This has basically been how I've been setting up my smartphones for several years. I can reach any of these apps with my thumb when I'm holding the phone with one hand, so everything is very efficient and quick to get to. So that's definitely something I like about not having to jailbreak anymore. I can just do whatever I want. So I think that about does it. I've been rambling on for, 10 minutes now, so I think that's about it with the video. I've showed pretty much my entire software setup, and I think that's it. So if there are any comments, questions, or feedback about this or anything else, feel free to leave everything down below in the comments area. But that is it with this video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.